Hello there, beautiful people. I want to introduce you to one of the best kept secret jewels in the entire world. The beautiful country of Huntastan, officially known as the People's Kleptokratic Republic of Huntastan, long ignored by the world, possibly because of its intolerably heinous human rights violations. This isolated hermit republic is quickly becoming a tourist paradise and destination of choice in the post-COVID world. No doubt helped by its hyperbolic inflation, making for a very competitive exchange rate. Huntastan was founded in 966 AD, supposedly by the nation's mythical founder Hunta I, who led a ragtag group of mercenaries into the desert as they hoped to avoid persecution for unconscionable war crimes. Those that survived settled at an oasis, and today that is the seat of the country's capital, Huntastan, which translates from Huntanese literally as "gullible travel rider will repeat anything we say." Or more idiomatically, it translates as the eternal rest of the weary traveler. And you'll understand why when arriving. When I first got there, I was immediately ushered by elite members of the Huntastan People's secret peacekeeping force in a wonderful display of Huntastani hospitality, a solemn and symbolism-filled ritual. They carefully placed a hessian sack over my head, tore off all my clothes, and ceremonially smacked me with all types of sharp and blunt implements in ritual. Then, after one call to my embassy to confirm my identity, I was allowed free to the streets of Huntastan, which are exceptionally clean and well presented. At times, it's hard to imagine that anyone lives there at all, but that doesn't mean that it's devoid of life or culture, for no sooner had the secret peacekeeping force released me, I was enchanted by a mystic song. Who was this voice of the ages? Perhaps he was a poet singing of the acts of heroism of his Huntastani forefathers in his beautiful song. My state-appointed travel guide, Kulamandhi, informed me it was just an insane vagrant. Instead, he entreated me to watch an example of the socially responsible investment in the arts that's very common here in Huntastan. He took me to a moving 4-hour biography of the country's eternal leader and current president for life, Opreshiman the Great. Opreshiman may not have been seen in public for the last 30 years, but you'll feel touched, as if you've met him personally after watching this 4-hour biography. Some blame Huntastan's poor visibility on its brutal and totalitarian regime that has yoked it for over 140 years. And yes, the country has had its occasional trifles with ethnic cleansings, famines, and pogroms and genocides and Eurovision-related hooliganism and violence, but its people are very resilient, and the regime will surprise even its staunchest critics because it's increasingly progressive. One of the most notable examples of its progressivism and liberalism is its burgeoning tourist industry. My state-sponsored tour guide assures me tourism has brought in no less than 17 billion trillion million Huntastani rupee in this year alone. And at current exchange rates, that's over $93,000 US. Some of the must-see tourist traps, and they are traps, in Huntastan are the great golden statue of President for Life Opreshiman, made from real gold. Or the great platinum statues of Opreshiman's beautiful harem of concubines. And don't forget the grandeur of the 3,000-room palace dedicated to Opreshiman's faithful pet and vice president, his favorite cocker spaniel, Opreshiman II. Or there's this glorious public cistern, which provides 55,000 residents of this neighborhood completely free of charge, somewhat clean drinking water between the hours of 8 and 11 on alternating day. However, I think the greatest part of this is its tourism. Few people know this, but Huntastan has the world's first state-owned sex industry monopoly. Millions of tourists come in Huntastani brothels to take advantage of these empowered, proud sex workers in a very competitive market where they will stoop to acts of such astounding depravity that it is against YouTube's terms of service for me to even imply them. You will need a shower and perhaps a therapist after your happy ending here, and it is a very happy ending that I take my leave from this beautiful and much misunderstood country, and as I'm whisked away past the plastered smiles, I wonder, what is it that I will miss the most? The revolting prostitution, the shameless cult of personality to a deranged leader who may not even still be alive? No. It was my state-sponsored tour guide, Kulamandi, who never let me out of his sight. And for that, I'm so grateful, because I've never felt so important or cared for in my entire life. He was watching every move I made, and I felt so significant that this other person was taking an interest in me. I will be back in Huntastan soon, Kulamandi. I will be back soon, because while your hookers may have stolen my money while I was in the other room, oh God, you've stolen my heart. Oh, hail Huntastan!